What's up mga kote? It's me, Ate Mariel, at welcome sa Quadernos where learning is the name of the game. So kung bago ka pa lamang sa aming YouTube channel, i-click mo na ang subscribe, like, and share button para may updated ka sa aming mga videos. So samahan natin si Super K sa panibagong araw at panibagong lesson na ating matututunan dito sa Quadernos. At ang bagong lesson natin for today is yung id, ego, and superego examples. So ayun, diba? Napag-usapan muna natin. So, balik tayo. So, psychological view of self. And under that is the psychological view of self ni Sigmund Freud. And dinescribe niya kung ano-ano yung mga descriptions about id, ego, and superego. So, ngayon, pumunta na tayo sa examples. So, simula muna tayo sa id. So, Freud called it the dark, inaccessible part of our personality. It's not out, it's our personality. The id is the primitive and instinctual part of the mind that contains sexual and so yan, umulit na naman, and aggressive and hidden memories. So, ito, may example tayo ng id dito. Yan, example. Sally was thirsty. Rather than waiting for the server to refill her glass of water, she reached across the table and drank from Mr. Smith's water glass much water to Mr. Smith's surprise. For example, magbibigay pa ako ng ibang example. For example, sa klase, for example, 3 hours or 5 hours yung klase nyo, and you wanted to sleep. So, walang etchos, walang babala, nag-left ka sa meeting kasi inaantok ka na. So, yun yung example ng id. Dahil nga ang id is the inaccessible part of our personality, more on, impulses, and it operates only about pleasure and no regard for anything else. It's like, wala kang pakialam what will happen. It's just that you wanted to accomplish that desire na, for example, gusto mo na mag-left sa meeting kasi inaantok ka na, or gusto mong kunin na yung tubig kasi uhaw ka na, without thinking about any consequences or results or reactions from other people na kasama mo that time, or magiging consequences mo if you do such thing, because your id doesn't care about anything. So, ayun yung example ng id. When we say ego naman, ego is the realistic part that mediates between the desires of id and the superego. The ego develops to mediate between the unrealistic id and the external real world. So, ito naman, ayan yung, sabi nga, ang id ay more about the inaccessible part of our personality. But when we say ego is the realistic part, so it's between id and superego. So, ayan. Example. Even though Michael needed the money, he decided not to steal the money from the cash register because he didn't want to get trouble. So, ayan, it's more on reality. So, kung gusto mo, kung kukunin mo yung pera, magkakaroon ka ng trouble. So, ayaw mo naman magkaroon ng gulo or mapahama ka pa. That's your ego na parang, hindi ko na to gagawin. Baka mamaya mahuli ako, or mamaya baka sabihin na ang sama nung move ko na yon. So, ayaw mo magkaroon ng trouble, ayaw mo na magkaroon ng iba pang mga consequences na pwedeng mangyari. But, napigilan mo yung sarili mo, unlike id. Kasi yung id, for example, hindi mo talaga mapipigilan. Basta yung kung ano yung desire mo, dapat makukuha mo in that specific time and what you call this, specific time and situation. But in this ego, so ayan, ayaw mo lang talaga magkaroon ng trouble because alam mo talaga na kapag ginawa mo yon, magkakaroon ng conflicts, and syempre makaka-apekto yon para sa sarili mo. So ayan yung example natin. So, meron pa ako ditong example. Wait lang. So, it's still our lesson until second year. It's like a recap. So, ito, may binigyan akong example. This is my example from it. For example, even though Sage wants to leave the program and go home, she will wait until closing remarks since their leader remind them to finish the event. So, the ego is an area of an individual's personality that the reality principle governs and serves as the mediator between their animalistic urges and morality. It's just that it's between your id nga and your superego. Making decisions about what to do is done with help of the ego. In addition, helping us that there are alternative, more appropriate ways to express our frustrations, the ego also enabled us to see that this response would be socially inappropriate. So, ayan. Katulad ng sinabi ko about kay Michael, it's a socially inappropriate to do if kukuha ka ng pera sa cash register. But with superego, the superego operates as a moral conscience. The superego functions is to control the its impulses, especially those which society forbids, such as sex and aggression. When we say superego, it is based on morals and judgments of good and evil. So it rests its reasoning more on moral values, and the superego shapes a person's conscience and represents their idealized self and their objectives and norms, aspirations for the future. So, for example, Sarah knew that she could steal the supplies from work and no one would know about. However, she knew that stealing was wrong, so she decided not to take anything even though she would probably never caught. Her superego told that stealing was wrong. So, that's superego example for, yan. Paalam niya na walang nakakita sa kanya na pwedeng na kukuha siya, for example, ng gamit, even though wala makakita or wala makakahuli, she decided not to do it because she knows that stealing was wrong. Another example. For example, Jackson knew that he can get Amber's personal belongings on her table. He still waits for her to come back and ask permission, even though Amber said that he could get something from her things anytime. And his superego tells that you should ask permission first before borrowing or get something na kailangan mo. So, that's how superego works. So, ayan, recap muna tayo. So, when we say id, it is the dark and accessible part of our personality. Ego is the realistic part that mediates between the desires of the id and superego. Oops. And when we say superego, it operates as a moral conscience. So, sana may natutunan kayo sa ating lesson for today kasi, yan, this is my, I just want to share that this understanding the self was, I have a low grades in here nung first year ako because nangangapa pa ako and I don't know what to do when it comes to situational questions sa exams. So, if there is something na I can recommend about how to study understanding the self, you must also base on situational because the professor will always have in situational questions, not only about objectives and definitions sa ating subject. So, ayun. Thank you. Have a great day and God bless. And see you in my next video. Bye-bye.